G'day, everyone. Welcome to our annual virtual conference. We are the Society for Open, Reliable and Transparent Ecology and Evolutionary Biology. My name is Rose O'Day. I'm currently SORTEE's president. Normally, I live and work on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, but right now I'm joining our conference from Germany in Berlin. And the point of this introductory address is to give you some information about SORTEE in general, as well as this conference in particular. So registration is staying open throughout the conference. And if you have friends or colleagues that you would like to invite to any of the sessions, then I know it would be tempting to send them a sneaky Zoom link. But instead of doing that, please send them this link to the conference registration page. And if they become a SORTEE member for free, then they can also join the conference for free. And it only takes a few minutes to do all of that. This year, we have already surpassed our membership tally for 2023, which has been excellent to see. And the best way to keep that growth going is for you to talk to people about SORTEE. The number one way our members hear about us is through word of mouth. And if you go to our public OSF page, we have promotional material that everyone can use, including our logo and QR codes, and a flyer that you could print out and stick up somewhere like your department's notice board or the fridge in the tea room. You can also buy and wear a SORTEE t-shirt, and the link to the t-shirt store is on the homepage of our website if you scroll down to the bottom. So I am absolutely certain that there's still lots of room for SORTEE to grow, because last month I gave a SORTEE poster at the ISBE conference, and that's a big meeting of behavioural ecologists. And when we ask members what their primary area of research is, behavioural ecology is wildly overrepresented among SORTEE members. So if there's a crowd anywhere in the world that's likely to have heard of SORTEE, it's that one. But even there at ISBE, most people that I spoke to at the poster session had no memory of hearing about SORTEE before. And for me, that was a reminder that when you've been in these communities for a while, it's all too easy to forget that these open science developments are pretty new and unfamiliar to most people. So let's keep having these conversations and approaching them with curiosity and with enthusiasm, even if it feels like you're having similar conversations over and over. That brings me back to this conference, where we will have a nice blend of old and new faces. I went through our registration history from previous conferences this morning, and I found that about 10% of people will be attending their fourth SORTEE conference. That means they've been going to every single one. But for more than half of the people here, this is their first ever SORTEE conference. How cool is that? Welcome, one and all. It is vital that everyone feels welcome and comfortable participating in the sessions as much or as little as they would like to. The sessions in this conference all do welcome active participation, and you can read the descriptions of those sessions in the conference information pack or by clicking on the session name in our Shiny app. I recommend bookmarking that webpage for easy access. The Shiny app is the easiest way to convert the program into your local time zone. You can choose your location from the drop-down list. If you start typing in your capital city, then it should just pop up so you don't have to scroll and scroll. This year, we've got two fantastic plenary sessions to look forward to, and the plan is that the presentation part of those plenary sessions will be recorded and then uploaded to our YouTube channel later on. But if you can attend these sessions in real time, then it's really worth doing so, not least because the last 15 minutes of these sessions of the plenaries, they're going to be dedicated to small group breakout rooms. And so that means that you can meet people and chat about the plenary that you just watched. As well as the plenaries, this year's program also has 4 unconference sessions. Those are structured conversations. You don't need to know anything about those sessions to engage with them, you just turn up. Then we have 7 hackathons, which are opportunities to work towards producing something at this conference, and there are 4 workshops for you to be taught something. For the hackathons and the workshops, you can see in the session descriptions whether or not the facilitators recommend having any prior knowledge or experience to get the most out of those sessions. But again, everyone should feel free to drop in passively to any session just to see what's going on. In the program, you'll also see that there are 30-minute slots labeled break/social mixer. And the plan for these is that the first 15 minutes of that time will be an offline break for everyone. So it's a chance to get off Zoom and relax. But after that, the 15 minutes before the start of the next session will be social time. And I really encourage you to turn up to these social mixers. I know some of you will have been burnt before by virtual conference social spaces. They might have felt awkward or there was simply no one there to talk to. But trust me, the SORTEE crowd is always friendly. Some of my favorite memories of our conferences are the talks I've had with the people who turn up to these things. And I promise you won't be alone. There will be at least one other person in the social sessions because there's a volunteer who has some icebreaker questions to get the conversation started. Another nice place to virtually meet the people who are here is the welcome channel in our SORTEE Slack space. The link to join that space is in your conference information pack, and there are also channels for all of the conference sessions that you can join, and the links for those channels are also included in the program session descriptions. No matter whether you're interacting over text or over Zoom, we all need to be abiding by SORTEE's code of conduct. If you are troubled by any interactions in the SORTEE community, then we do have an anonymous reporting form that's linked on the website. You can also reach out to any of the conference volunteers directly. The names of the people on technical assistance at any given time are listed in the conference program. You can, of course, ask questions about the conference in Slack, but most answers to your questions will be contained somewhere in the conference information pack. We've streamlined things this year by having just a single Zoom link for all sessions. If this link fails, there is a backup link, and in the event of some disaster, just be patient. Keep an eye on the technical assistance channel in Slack or your email, and we'll get things back up and running as soon as we can. The conference committee has put in a ton of work to make this conference enjoyable for everyone. The chair of that committee is Maria Pugar, and she's been working tirelessly with Julia Mazzaero, Juliet Tariel Adam, Machu Paquet, Ramakrishnan Vasudeva, Sophia Paraskavapoulou, Stephanie Flamen, and Sissi Lozada Gobilad. I can't thank these people enough, so please thank them yourselves during the conference as well. We also have technical assistance help during the sessions from Leonardo, Caleb, and Losha. Thank you, everyone. So this brings me to highlighting the work that SORTEE volunteers do across the whole organization. We're coming up to our 4-year anniversary in December, and in that time, SORTEE has had hundreds of volunteers. It is the volunteers who make this society possible, but also, in many special ways, it is the volunteers who are getting the most benefits from SORTEE, be it in the form of community and new friendships, or the many skills that you can develop, which are super valuable and transferable to other work, or just the good feeling that comes from working in a team to achieve something bigger than you could achieve alone. So until the end of this month, the 30th of October, we are recruiting volunteers for next year. And the nomination form is linked on the screen. It's also on the homepage of SORTEE's website. You absolutely do not need to have any prior experience of volunteering or any open science knowledge to make a meaningful contribution to SORTEE. You just need time and a willingness to learn and to work with other people through our committee Slack space and our shared Google Drive. So if you're considering volunteering but aren't quite sure, then this conference is the perfect place to help you decide. The SORTEE leadership is hosting duplicate information sessions where you can come and ask questions. And if you scroll up in the welcome channel in Slack, then the conference committee volunteers have put in the times when they would be happy to chat to anyone about volunteering. And I'm also happy to meet with anyone one-on-one. You can just send me an email or a DM in Slack. To give you an idea of the types of work that you could do within SORTEE, I'm now going to tell you a bit more about the committees that you could join. First, the board of directors. This is elected by the membership, and in this year's election, we have 3 seats available, including 1 seat that is reserved for a graduate student. The board is responsible for deciding on the priorities and policies of the society, as well as overseeing the other committees. And so now I'll run you through those committees in alphabetical order. First, the advocacy committee. These guys try to change institutional incentives to improve research. And we know from our new member survey that this is something that most SORTEE members care about. And this committee was actually a direct result of our very first conference in 2021. We held 2 information sessions. Actually, they were discussion sessions titled, "Should SORTEE advocate for policy change?" And the overwhelming answer was, yes, we should. And so now at this conference, the advocacy committee is hosting 2 sessions titled, "How can SORTEE make a difference?" So please attend one of these sessions if you can. Even if you don't have time to volunteer for SORTEE next year, your feedback at these conference sessions really does inform the direction of our society. Next, the awards committee this year has been revamped. They're revamping our awards program, and nominations are now open year-round to recognize a diverse array of projects that are promoting open science in our fields. The conference committee, they always function really well. They have a clear target and deadlines and institutional memory. And as I said, if you search for their names in the SORTEE Slack space, they are happy to chat with anyone about volunteering for next year. The Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Committee, they give advice to other committees, and they also run our annual anonymous demographic survey. If you are a SORTEE member, then you will have received an invite to that survey earlier this month. We've already had a pretty good response rate, but it'll be great to get even more. So please go search your inbox if you haven't filled that out already. The EcoEvo Archive Committee, they're responsible for overseeing our preprint server, which is going from strength to strength. As well as manuscripts in English, EcoEvo Archive currently accepts submissions in Spanish, Portuguese, and French, and there are plans to expand that a lot more next year. The Education and Outreach Committee, they run workshops and webinars. There's one coming up in November. The other_events page on SORTEE's website also links to forms where you can request an event on a particular topic, or you can propose giving one of those events yourself. I think there's also lots of scope to increase our outreach as a society, especially as social media seems to be losing its influence as a way to connect with people. Okay, a super important committee is the fundraising committee. This slide is also my opportunity to thank our fantastic financial supporters for 2024 who have helped this conference run as smoothly as it does. Okay, I know that asking SORTEE members to volunteer to fundraise is a big ask. We are mostly early career researchers who don't know that much about fundraising. I get it, but hey, we are also good learners. We really need people for this committee. Fundraising is just about the top priority for SORTEE next year. So if you want to make a big difference and help sustain this community into the future, then this is the committee to join. Next, the Media Committee. They run SORTEE's website, including the blog. They send out the quarterly newsletter and post on social media. Give us a follow, use the hashtag SORTEE2024. It would be great to find another graphic design person for this committee, and the Media Committee is also running a hackathon at this conference to start creating a SORTEE Wikipedia page that would really help boost our society's profile. Finally, the Member Engagement Committee. This was a new committee this year, and they've done a fabulous job putting on regular events for SORTEE members. To make it easier to attend these events during the year, you can sign up to receive calendar invites to your inbox. The link is there on the screen. This committee runs the Code Club, which is also on the schedule at this conference. It's Hackathon 7, creating a code standard. And they run the virtual coffee breaks for members to chat. You'll also get a feel for those coffee breaks at this conference. And together with the Education and Outreach Committee, they've been working on creating short primers on open science topics in EcoEvo. And that work will be continuing at this conference in Hackathon 3. Last but not least, the Member Engagement Committee coordinates SORTEE events at in-person conferences. If you're going to a SORTEE conference, then you can request some funds to present a poster on behalf of the Society, buy some stickers and a t-shirt, or host a social meetup. Earlier, I said that it's the SORTEE volunteers who are getting the most out of this society. Well, that never feels truer than when you meet a fellow SORTEE volunteer in person for the first time. So once again, the link to volunteer for SORTEE is on the screen. It will close on the 30th of October. And that brings me to the end of this introduction and the beginning of the 4th annual SORTEE conference. I look forward to meeting and catching up with many of you at some point over the next 27 hours. But right now, I'm stoked for the first plenary session where we'll be hearing more about how grassroots networks can be promoting open science. So I'll say goodbye for now and hand it back to Julia Mazzuero.